And we are back for week 5 of Overwatch 2 winter fall season. My name is Merv. I'm joined by Imperium, and we have some exciting games to get to you. Our first game is gonna be Crewtons versus Havoc, and then later 8 o'clock Rift versus Glitch. But before we hop into that, we're going to be talking about a few announcements we got coming on for the next couple of weekends.
Absolutely. This is week 5 of our Overwatch here, the last week of the regular seasons before finals next weekend. Definitely excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of the end of the final season, we have our Valorant finals on the 12th. So in a couple days, this Saturday, in fact, make sure to stop by the Twitch, really support them. It is going to be a live venue, so make sure to check out that in the announcements and look for those key details. Same thing with the Overwatch Grand Finals. That will be the next coming Saturday, so 19th. Will be whenever the Overwatch Grand Finals is that tournament that we're going to be playing through. Right now in the regular season, of course, teams are going to be playing for seeding. And as I mentioned, we're going to be going into our first match with Crewtons versus Havoc. Our Havoc being the second seed team, I believe, versus Crewtons, who are stuck right in the middle. So this is going to be interesting to witness, considering that both these teams are OGs and they've been showing up here a little bit in the standings.
Absolutely. Definitely looking forward to see what both teams are able to bring out here as we start on Lijiang Tower, one of the control maps. And I'm just excited to see what each team brings out comp-wise and skill-wise. Anything you're looking for specifically?
Um, I know quite a few of these players. I know that Lion Gamer used to be a really good Sigma, I believe, but has a pretty gnarly Tracer and a Mei, and is a very competent DPS. Same thing with Exotic, except for just kind of flip it on its head. Exotic used to be a great Reaper, a great Genji. Now coming out here on tank, going to be a good Rhine, a good Sigma. You're going to see a lot of pop off potential from the side of Havoc. Croutons also have mostly new players, but little pricey once again on the tank line. Um, Great player, always there. Has a lot of skill. Usually, I believe, was also a DPS player. Had been playing Tracer. Had been playing the more dive centric heroes. Now moving on to the tank line. So it's going to be interesting to see if any of those skills that they had previously adapted in older seasons will sort of translate into today's game.
Absolutely. What are we looking for as we move into Lijiang Tower, you think, from the teams?
I'm sort of expecting Rush. We've had a few like really good we've had a few patch notes come through. We've had a few things change around lately, and I think realistically of all things, Overwatch League, if anybody was watching that, had a lot of dive. You had Winston, you had Sojourn, you had Reaper, Kiriko and Lucio. It was like, how fast can we move? And then we're also going to play super slowly and wait for a Sojourn to get the first pick before pressing W. I don't really expect that to be the crouton style because these kids, as I have seen before in previous seasons, love to give chase, love to hunt, love to find the picks in order to really open things up for their team. As we are going to be heading here into Lijiang Tower in just a second, it will be quite interesting to see exactly how they sort of adapt and change styles.
Absolutely. And we see strong players from both sides. Definitely looking forward to see the kind of playmaking that control maps require. See what kind of different comps they run out here. Looking forward to seeing all that.
Yeah, absolutely. One certain thing you see, especially on Li Zhang, is the use of Symmetra, which is not a super conventional pick, but it gets your team there quick. And if you're able to capture the point first, ends up becoming a great tool in with her turrets and the static damage she's able to do and actually keeping hold of that point. However, it does look like we're going to be seeing Junker Queen, I believe, for one of the first times here in Oath.
Absolutely. And Mini Fly on the Tank has always in the past had a really strong showing. So to see them on the Junker Queen will definitely be extremely interesting, especially with Aphrodite and Exotic in the back line, with high mobility characters such as Kiriko and Lucio ready to move in, jump when Junker Queen needs, get some great value there. It's looking fantastic as we move in.
We see Little Pricey on that sim, going to be setting up those turrets as soon as possible. We also see, very similar composition to what Overwatch League was running, except for the Junker Queen. Instead, Lion Gamer dives in the backline as Sojourn uses the nade to find Esbroth in the backline. That's a massive main heal pick there, and it's going to be immediately heading over to the side of Havoc for this first fight as Gumball falls as well. Very quick, very brutal. The fight's over before the point's even captured. And will anybody be able to find picks? Little Pricey actually picking up Exotic, but it's not going to be enough.
And you talk about this importance of the Sojourn play, or the Symmetra play there, in order to get them on point really quickly. And we see that paid off well for the side of Havoc as we moved in that first point.
Yep, it sure did. I wasn't quite enough to really hold the fort down, but oh my goodness, it's actually becoming some sort of a. Or at least I thought. We saw an anti-nade there from the side of Esbroth, but it's not going to be quite enough to find the picks there. Line Game is going to be cleaning up with two. The barrage comes through from Dapper, already built up. Corgi ends up going down to that, but it's not going to be enough, and Havoc will be pulling this one back. It is only 1%. That was just the first fight, and already such an explosive start.
Absolutely, we see Dapper there already having the barrage before points even captured. Definitely rolling out of the pharmacy allowed them to get a lot more value, especially against the kind of close range comp Havoc came out with. So they're sticking with the pharmacy. I think that's a great idea. Moving forward here, just able to get at range and try to poke them out with really the only character. Excellent pick there from Lion Gamer. That was what I was going to say. The only character that can really help fight that is the Sojourn.
Finds the Mercy immediately after the res. Lion Gamer gets a second headshot. Both supports down for the side of Havoc, or for the side of Crewtons as they continue to try pressing in here. Little Pricey returns the favor, finds Mini Flying Corgi, but will it be enough as Dapper takes a little dip off the side? It's just Little Pricey standing right now, and it will be Havoc continuing to hold on here. Very impressive mechanics from both DPS from Little Pricey and Lion Gamer, picking off enemies that they needed to, but it just wasn't quite enough for the side of
Absolutely.
Croutons.
We see three ultimates coming from the side of Havoc here, with one being used by Lion Gamer to secure some of those early picks.
Gumball's able to find Lion, but Lion, before he went down, takes out the Mercy. There's no res available. Is going to make every pick count and going to make it much harder for Croutons to continue pressing forward here. 75% and counting. We're looking at 1 to 2 more fights. What do you think Croutons' plan here is from here on out?
I think one of the biggest things that could help them out there is just be able to get the point. They've got to find a way to get there successfully.
We see a beautiful barrage. So Dapper ends up pulling Corgi into the pool. Lion Gamer falls down to the barrage as a counter to the sort of Kitsune rush that Aphrodite pulled down. Little Price is going to be cleaning up from Mini Fly and Aphrodite. 99% all the way up. Will anybody be able to touch it? Will be Exotic trying to contest here a little bit. Actually able to find Dapper, so it's up to Little Pricey to stay alive long enough. Will they be able to pull it off? They might just be able to do it. Gumball's going to come in here with the spin from the Junker Queen. Might find a pick, finds two. Exotic and Lion Gamer both go down. The res comes from Little Pricey, and this could be exactly what Croutons needs in order to pull this one back. This is the last fight, so everyone's going all out. Corgi returns with the Death Blossom into the backline. Little Pricey's able to find Mini Fly. It's back and forth, left, right, front, and center. No telling exactly who's going to win. Will Dapper be able to find the picks they need? Little Pricey finds another one. The Reaper seems unstoppable, but no. Overtime will tick down, and it is actually Havoc that win the fight.
Absolutely amazing showing there from DPS on both sides. We saw the Reapers from either side just working and fighting back and forth. We saw the amazing Blossom to allow the Croutons to push in there from Lion Gamer. Just push in there and did an excellent job of calling back on the side of Havoc. They did just a fantastic job of using the ultimates to the best of their abilities in order to secure that final point. We saw Exotic with several early picks with the boop and then the damage. Exotic overall that entire match doing a fantastic job of finding value wherever they can. The entire time moving back and forth, looking for a boop, looking for a pick, playing Lucio in a way that kind of puts pressure on the other team and allows them to get a lot of value outside of just being a support for their own team.
Absolutely. We also saw some really great responses there, but this is going to be Gumball charging head first as the Reinhardt, but leaving the backline exposed just a little bit. Corgi Minifly going to be finding two picks. Ghost Dragon goes down on the Moira, and Little Pricey falls as well. And once again, Havoc opened this one up explosively and aggressively, winning the fight before the point is even active. Dapper trying to find something, is able to find Lion Gamer, but it's just not enough. Havoc takes the first point.
And we see Havoc here most likely going to move to a position that allows them to get that advantage. With Croutons on the Reinhardt, they've really got to be able to play those corners, and Havoc's really got to be able to fight that because just with the shield and health pool difference that Reinhardt has, that's going to put them at a little bit of a disadvantage if they get in a really close range.
I really like how Crewtons is playing super slow, trying to make sure that they have all resources available to them before they press in here, but Dapper does go down, trying to, harass that backline. Not quite enough. Exotic will be able to find them with the help of his team. Gumball here has a shot. He's going to be finding two. That will be a pin onto Corgi, who will go down, but Lion Gamer been a menace on the Sojourn the entire time. Finds three in the backline, make that four in a head-on collision with Gumball and Havoc. They seem really strong right now.
An outstanding show out there from Lion Gamer on this Sojourn. Getting those picks, securing the team, separating the team, and we saw the great ultimate there from Gumball in order to get that shatter, separate the team, but an even better play around by Havoc by using the charge from the Reinhardt to get behind the team and picking off their backline before Reinhardt's able to spin around.
There's the ultimate from the side of Lion Gamer, trying to find that damage. Exotic finds little Pricey with the help of that overclock. Lion Gamer is able to find the enemy Moira, and the damage coming out from this man right now on the Sojourn just been absolutely unfathomable. We are at 71% and counting, and it's looking kind of dire for the side of Croutons, but there's hope in them. I can feel it. Gumball close to the shatter, and Dapper almost has the blade. So we'll have to see exactly how this is used. Kitsune rush along with the spinny spin from the side of Junker Queen. Exotic actually is able to boop Gumball off the edge, and that is a very quick fight win. We might get a touch here, but Dapper's kind of locked in the spawn.
We see excellent play there, and the beat in response to that blade in order to prevent that damage from picking off the team, letting them keep that position, doing a great job of closing off the Croutons and not letting them get back to that point in order to contest, skipping overtime and going straight towards the victory there.
Absolutely. Dapper, like you mentioned, he pulled out the blade. He was looking for the kills to get more of those dash resets to try to give his team a touch, but the sound barrier not allowing that to happen. Here's that beautiful play from the side of Lion, finding three, finding four, and really cleaning up the side of Croutons as they tried valiantly to sort of push forward. They played well. They played as a team. They played patiently, but if you're too patient, I think the Sojourn just kind of tears you apart.
Absolutely. And we see a well deserved play of the game there from Lion Gamer, doing a fantastic job that entire game of securing picks, making space, doing everything a Sojourn needs in order to allow their team to win. And we saw that. We saw them be able to do that and just did a great job there. And Exotic also did a fantastic job in the Lucio of putting boops where they need in order to make space, push a player off the map. We saw them boop the Crouton's tank right off the map, right there at the choke, buying them just a little more time as then the Croutons are without a tank. And then the ultimate usage was fantastic all around on the side of Havoc. We see them use ultimates to counter ultimates to take space, ultimates to secure elims, and just did an overall fantastic job of securing where they wanted to be and keeping that spot. And I think they played against the comp that was being thrown at them extremely well. Was able to quickly recognize weaknesses and play around those weaknesses in order to capitalize on them. And I think they did a fantastic job of that.
So, what is the play? Now that you're the Croutons, now that you've seen what they can do, you know that the enemy Sojourn is an issue. How exactly do you adapt here? What's the game plan? How do you take out someone like Lion who's just popping heads left, right, front, and center with the backbone of his entire team?
Absolutely, and it's always difficult to work around one single person or a single character. It's always going to be a little bit of a struggle, but I absolutely think the Croutons can do it. You've just got to be able to recognize that kind of disparity there in what's hurting your team. You've got to be able to adapt to kind of counter it. And we see the Croutons have picked Route 66 as the next map, and I think that's a great map in order to be able to do that. And you just got to make the changes. You've got to be high mobility to get around Sojourn's high mobility. You've got to be able to get outside of their E that takes space. You got to be able to take space quick. I think high mobility, some kind of dive, and something that can just help absorb a little bit of that damage. And there aren't too many tanks that can help do that. Like you can't just eat with Diva's deal. You need like a shield in order to stop
Mhm.
Sojourn's right click. You need something to be able to take that space and at the same time shield against that. I think Winston does a good job of that, of being just right in their face, not allowing them to aim. I think that would be a great pick to show. I think sticking with the Reaper, another good idea. Maybe another type of dive, a Tracer, or even a Genji could be a great pick again. I think that's excellent. But just being able to have that high mobility, able to secure that space quickly without taking a lot of damage, and spending a lot less time preparing and a lot more time executing. Like you talked about, they do an excellent job of waiting for an opportunity, but with Lion Gamer's ability on the Sojourn, they don't have time to do that. And it's just all of a sudden you get a pick and then you're down a player, and then with the Sojourn being able to do that almost every single fight, it gets really difficult to be able to have patience and wait. You got to be able to jump on them as soon as you can and try to get that pick before Sojourn's able to do that on their own.
So we're looking at, like, maybe Winston, we're gonna be looking at, high mobility, so you said, Genji, Reaper, maybe we go into Kiriko, Lucio? We didn't see Kiriko from Havoc before, I don't think, uh, unless I'm crazy, but I don't believe so, and I think really when you're talking Sojourn, the ability to cleanse to make your teammates immune for a second will get them that ability to sort of dive into the enemy team. So we're gonna be heading into Route 66, a map that is known for its high ground, that is known for its, you're gonna be fighting on the high ground, you're gonna be taking space only if you can get to the high ground, you're gonna be perching up, trying to get your team, trying to get the enemy at a disadvantaged angle. So it'll be interesting to see exactly if we do make those adaptations, and I do think you're right. I think the Winston is going to be a great choice. I think just being able to close the distance and really pressure out that Sojourn from the side of Lion Gamer will be a great way to do that. And, why fix what's not broken? But also it could be a totally different thing that we're gonna be seeing from the side of, of Havoc. It could be something along the lines of, "Okay, we know that they're gonna be diving us, so let's play poke. Let's play something." Oh, we have a hydrate the casters. Thanks for tuning into the stream. Appreciate it. Thank you. We're gonna be cheering. Thank you, Voltage.
Thank you. Yes, we do have a side swap, meaning that Havoc is now going to be the blue team and Croutons will be the red, which also
Just
means that Croutons will be attacking first here on this map.
just so nobody gets confused, because it's always a little bit of a jumble in the brain. You're like, "Oh, blue's this guy and red's this guy," and then it never works out that way. But regardless, we're going to be getting in here shortly. Um, what were we on about? We were talking about dive. I think poke might do well. I think you could go with a counter dive, like a Sigma, Brig, Ana, sort of just make it so that if they did try to dive your Sojourn, it'd be a little bit harder for them to do that. Or maybe they don't fix what's broken. Maybe they stick with this, sort of pseudo rush. Maybe they try to, um, continue getting value the same way they've been getting value, and it'll just have to be who adapts to what and where, and that's exactly what we're gonna be seeing whenever we hop into this map.
And that's one of the beauties of Route 66. And I know we talk about it all the time, but the adaptability of this map, you see two completely distinct play styles split amongst this map. You got the first point where it's close and long ranges, allowing you to play really whatever extremely well. And then second point where it's just almost all long range, meaning oftentimes you see switches in order to adapt to that. And then the third point where it's all entirely close quarters, just tight, fast paced combat. So it's definitely really interesting to see how teams are able to adapt to that and see the comps that they switch back and forth between. And it makes Route 66 an insanely fun map to watch.
And, where typically dive wouldn't be very viable in something that's so close quarters. If the Sojourn can't run away, maybe you play something that can catch up to her, right? So maybe even whenever we do have a dive in a close quarter, it might still be the better option whenever you're trying to close down that Sojourn. We see no changes, as far as I can tell, from the side of Havoc, while Croutons is going with a near completely different look, and I, for one, am a big fan of it.
Absolutely. I think the Orisa can definitely do an excellent job of being able to secure that space, quickly close the gap between teams and kind of play that brawly style that they were trying to play earlier, but in a much more effective manner. So I think that is a good pick. And then the Hanzo Genji is another great pick as well.
You're gonna be
Using
seeing a
Genji to get there quick, and then Hanzo in order to snipe from the backlines.
You're gonna be seeing a very close hold here from the side of Crewtons as they're gonna be from the side of Havoc. I apologize. A little pricey gonna be finding Exotic into the backline. Dapper finds another Storm Arrow on a Corgi, and this is a clean opening here. Lion is able to pick off Dapper, but with the spawn advantage, it's not really gonna matter, and it will be Crewtons taking this first fight.
We see excellent Genji play there from Little Pricey as they move out, securing the early pick on Exotic. Even though they are picked off by Lion Gamer, did an excellent job of taking space.
Lion's gonna be able to find Little Pricey, and Gumball will be trading with Lion. So, realistically, I think it's a better trade there for the side of Croutons. They're gonna be continuing pressing forward here, and they're gonna get their team back faster. There are still 3 minutes on the clock, so it's plenty of time to hold this defense and plenty of time to push. Could be anyone's game.
Absolutely. And Croutons are able to take a little bit of space here before the Havoc Sojourn gets back.
Little pricey trying to sort of pick off, put up a little bit of pressure over on the ceiling, but no, it will be Havoc pressing forward here, trying to find enough damage to do it, but Gumball just has so much HP. Little pricey gonna be not enough time to take out Aphrodite, but Exotic and Corgi will be finding the squishies in the back line. That's 3 down now. Gumball with less support will be found. Little pricey able to pick off Exotic, but will be regrouping with the rest of his team as yeah, very nice, sort of split there from the side of Havoc.
Absolutely, and that kind of late pick by Little Pricey does a lot of good too, because now Exoticus have to come back from a much further distance, giving them a little bit of a spawn advantage before they move in this next fight.
Absolutely. Here we go once again. Lion up on this high ground. A great spot for a Sojourn to really be able to find that pressure. We'll be going head to head against Dapper, but Dapper gets the headshot, cancels out that overcharge. It's a massive pick as Gumball's going to be finding Exotic as well. Little Pricey will be following that up with a blade, and it will be Havoc biting the dust as the rest of Croutons continue surging forward here. That was a great showing of mechanics there from the side of Dapper, and they will be capturing the first point here.
Absolutely, and that early pick is fantastic for so many reasons too. Not only did it kill the Sojourn, giving them a bit of an advantage moving into that, but it also canceled her ultimate, allowing her like just denying those right clicks from them, which Line Gamers does an excellent job of getting immense amounts of value on. So that was a fantastic play by Dapper, and then a fantastic play by Little Pricey to follow up on the Genji. We see them running the Super Shimada Bros DPS comp as they play the brother characters moving in and doing an excellent job of it too.
3.5 minutes on the clock here as we're going to be staring into a wall. Aphrodite's going to be activating the coalescence. We'll get pulled in by Gumball, but nobody will be found there. Lion Gamer is able to find Dapper after unleashing the dragons. Not enough. Khaleesi's spirit was not with them. And Pricey trying to stay alive here, trying to find any value they can, but no. It will be Croutons once again with this defense.
And we see Havoc with the switch off of Kiriko onto the Moira, and I think they can do an excellent job of giving them just a little bit more sustain for their team as a whole and prevent a lot of that burst damage from the Hanzo, Genji, Orisa, and just allowing them to take a little bit more time and not take so much damage all at once because the Moira is able to heal that a lot quicker and a lot more effectively than the Kiriko. So I think that was an excellent swap.
We're going to be seeing a very nice rotation here from the side of Croutons as they're going to be rotating up over the garage. Gumball's able to find Corgi with a very nice javelin pick and follow up from their team. That's a massive DPS pick. Will be returned in favor. A mini flag going to be anti-ing a lot of the enemy there, and Little Price is able to find Exotic. The denying of heals, absolutely massive, and even though it was them, they got the first pick. Croutons will be sent right back to spawn.
And we see that each team has several ultimates now, with Havoc having a huge ultimate advantage with 3 online right now, and the Croutons having 1 coming on as we see the Blade. The Coalescence was used there during that fight, so the Blade is the only thing they have to play off of right now. So definitely see an advantage from Havoc as they move into this next fight with their ultimates.
And you're going to be hoping to save that beat for the Blade, so sort of negate its ability. So I wouldn't even really count it too much unless they can force it out here. Little Pricey does officially have the blade. The Lion will be able to find Ghost Dragon. There's the blade in return. Corgi's able to find Esbroth before the Sound Barrier goes down. That's exactly what Havoc needed in order to push this one forward, or in order to hold this one. I apologize. Little Pricey finds Aphrodite, but that will be enough.
Absolutely. Havoc there doing a fantastic job of recognizing where the croutons are coming from and just collapsing on it as soon as they're put in an advantage. And again, like we talked about earlier, they're doing an excellent job of setting up where they want to be and keeping that spot. And they've been doing fantastic this entire second point.
1 minute on the clock as things are starting to get real close. We've got 2 or 3 more fights here. It's going to be a one-on-one Little Pricey versus Lion Gamer. Little Pricey not quite able to find the one-on-one there. The nade helping Lion out very much so. Minifly is going to be picking off Dapper. Lots of DPS there. Now negated. And once again, Havoc, they're showing a very strong hold here. Lion finding 2 at the overload. Will it be a third as he hunts for the head of Ghost Dragon? Ghost Dragon will be found by the side of Exotic. 30 seconds on the clock now. This is the last team fight for both. This is the last fight for both these teams.
An excellent pick there from Lion Gamer on the Ana. Now, Croutons are having to wait another amount of time for their Ana to get back in the fight. Their main support there, they're with as they move into this next fight, is they simply run out of time.
Minifly showing great mechanics. They're going to be picking off Dapper quite skillfully as Aphrodite's going to be activating Coalescence, making sure their team's not going to go down. Gumball falls as well. 5 seconds left. Will anybody be able to touch Esbroth? Desperately trying to make it there as Ghost Dragon does as well. But the boop from the side of Exotic will be stopping that from happening. And it will be Havoc holding on to the second point.
Amazing plays all around, especially from the sides of Havoc. We see Exotic consistently getting picks yet again. Even with the high burst damage from both of their DPS, Exotic is still able to get. We see 15 final blows from their Lucio, rivaling that on the side of the Croutons and even within their own team outside of Lion Gamer. 15 is an insane amount for a Lucio to have in a map like this, and just doing an excellent job of having that vision, seeing when an enemy player is getting low, and then just being able to jump right on them, secure that pick, or even in the middle of fights, using the speed, Lucio's speed, to just be able to jump around from wall to wall, getting picks. We saw one play there where they had 3 melee kills with the final blows with just a simple punch. So we see them just run around, jump, punch, knock one, punch again, knock one, just doing a fantastic job of using Lucio in the best way possible in order to secure the elims and help the team.
We are now looking at max speed dive once again from the side of Havoc here, as Aphrodite will be going over to the Kiriko. And the Kitsune Rush being a menacing ultimate with the combination of Lion Gamer and Corgi on the Sojourn and the Reaper. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how Havoc plans to hold this one, as we see Dapper on the Bastion.
Absolutely. I think the Croutons have an excellent idea here with the Zarya Bastion because Havoc's been playing the Junker Queen this whole time. And what Bastion does an excellent job is being able to shut down Junker Queen. Just that high burst damage and Junker Queen having no movement abilities, no shielding, just able to quickly melt them down, especially with that Mercy Pocket. Do a fantastic job. And then the Zarya again to shield the Bastion, give him that bubbles, just infuse Zarya. Just an excellent comp pick here.
There's a turn one from Bastion, but Lion Gamer going to be lasering down Dapper and Little Pricey. Both DPS down now, as well as Ghost Dragon. This man is unbridled. Unbridled rage, I just feel the fire, the flames, the glory screaming from this man right now. As there's 3 minutes on the clock, and they are almost ready to capture point A. Will they be able to pick him off after pushing this far?
Lion Gamer moving in there with no fear, just running straight into the enemy team, picking off 3 of them, and then Exotic rushing in right after him, picking off those last 2. Just an excellent team play there, moving in, just the courage to be able to run in without fear, get those elims, and get back out. Just a fantastic play.
The point is captured, but Little Pricey comes back on the Genji. Going to be finding Lion, which might mean that this could be a team win here. Is that the primary damage source now taken out? Minifly's going to be finding Gumball. And no, it'll be Havoc continuing to press forward. It doesn't matter what Crouton seems to do, seems to try. They just continue to keep going. However, on the side of the Croutons, they might be able to build Blade and Grav here. This is gonna be last fight.
Absolutely, an excellent ult combo to look for. Hopefully, they can get there quick enough in order to make the fight happen.
Lions finds Dapper immediately after dumping in the nade. Beautiful stuff. And no, nobody's gonna be there to touch. Couldn't really stay on the point when you're taking all that damage. And Havoc will win the second map.
Havoc again doing a fantastic job of being able to find a location and just keep it secure the entire fight. And then of course the play of the game from Lion Gamer, well deserved again with some excellent picks.
Yeah, absolutely. There's two. There's three canceling out the blade. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. And that is going to be something we're going to be having to look out for in our grand finals when we really get down to it because Lion is just a menace on the Sojourn, and Sojourn is so strong right now. Um, Teams, you all have a little over a week to plan. So if you're looking out for anything to sort of counter or try to counterplay, that might be a good place to start. Is this match of Havoc versus Crewtons? Now, Crewtons, on your end, you did some things really well. Gumball on the right, you guys played patiently as a team. Whenever you're running the rush, you guys knew when you wanted to press forward. You knew how you wanted to press forward. You had a game plan. It was there. It just couldn't overlook that damage, and, that, I believe, is what we really saw here tonight.
Absolutely. Excellent game from both sides. We see Croutons having several great plays and executing them extremely well. Working together fantastically as a team. We talked about that patience several times, and normally that pays off brilliantly. That's an important thing to have as a team. But Lion Gamer tonight just popping off like crazy. He did an excellent job of securing early picks, just playing Sojourn in a way that is just extremely beneficial to the team, giving them a little bit of space, a little bit of breath with those early picks in order to just secure them. Did a fantastic job. And Exotic again doing a great job on the supports. Mini Fly on the tank doing a fantastic job of separating the team, using knife to pull them back, getting those picks too. Just a high damage comp made for a really exciting game. Definitely looking forward to see what they can do in the future.
They said, "We all know we're hide skills, so we're all just gonna get all the kills." And it worked out for them great. So, that will be the end of the Havoc versus Croutons. Don't go away just yet. We'll be back at 8 o'clock for some fitness and for Rift versus Glitch. My name is Merp. I was joined by Imperium. I'll be back. He'll be out of here, and we will see you guys in a minute.